Hello my scrappy friends and a big welcome to my YouTube channel today. It is the 10th, which means it is my turn to share for cut to you with this beautiful cut of the month cut file, Rose Trio Arch. As soon as I saw the cut file, I knew I wanted to make a shaker. I originally thought I would do a card, but wasn't sure how well my cameo would cope with cutting this much smaller than what I have done. So you can see I've cut that with gold glitter cardstock, and I am the backing for the floral. I had my cameo sketch the design with a pencil onto Express It blending cardstock, and I have used my Copic markers to colour it. I love this technique. It is so fun. It is so unique. I really enjoy colouring with my Copics, and I don't feel like that I do it enough for my liking. So after the first time I tried this a little while ago, I was like, this is actually super fun, and I really love the way the cut files come together after that. So I thought I'd give it a go again. I'm using RV colours, I think, for this one, and right over the top I've added some R81 just to bring it back to more a red pink than a purple pink. So you can see I have trimmed around that coloured design, and I've stuck my cut file to that, and I'm just going through here and trimming that out so it fits perfectly behind my cut file. I love how this turned out. I'm so impressed with it, and it goes perfectly with the photo that I'm scrapbooking today, which is of myself. I realised late last year that I didn't have a current-ish photo without braces, with no swelling from my infection, and so I set myself up. This photo was actually taken in my bedroom. I've got wallpaper on the main wall, which is what the floral print in the background of the photo is, and I just took some selfies until I got one that I was happy with, and I actually really love this photo of myself. And so I just felt like it was time to document that particular moment and how I was feeling after everything that had gone on with my, with the braces, with the surgery, with the infection. So yeah, I was like, you know what, this beautiful cut file will work with my photo. So that's how I've landed on this cut file the way that I have with the photo that I'm using. So make sure you scrapbook yourself, guys, and sometimes it's not going to be a nice photo. Sometimes it's going to be I can't believe this is happening, but it's all part of your story, and I'm sure that at least some of us are wanting to get our story down, even if it's just as a way of therapy for ourselves. So, scrapbook those stories about you as well. They're just as important as the stories about everyone else and everything else in our lives. That's my little soapbox, and I'm moving on. I am playing with the Heidi Swap Classic Heidi, I think it's called. I've had it in my stash for a little while, and I pull it out every now and then. It's so pretty, so beautiful, and it works perfectly with my photo and my cut file. I am using black and gold splatters, just little ones along on the background, knowing that my cut file is going to be like pretty much front and center, and I've popped that aside to let that dry, and I'm just going to, so I've backed that cut file with vellum, and you can see there is a pencil outline, which is where my photo is going to go. I am going to make a shaker. It's going to be a reasonably flat shaker. I didn't want to bulk it up too much, so this was a little bit of a complicated process, but also not. I hope that makes sense. I know that if I use liquid glue with vellum, it is going to curl up and going to be more difficult to work with than if I use tape, so that is why I'm using tape. And I'm going to tape everywhere where I don't want the sequins to go, so that I can make little safe places for my sequins to go to create this shaker. I'm not going to show you this whole process because it did take me a little while. So I've got all of the areas taped off where I don't want sequins to go. I'm going to use my magnets here so that things do not move, and remove all of my tape. I know that I'm going to need to add all my sequins before, obviously before I glue anything down, and the easiest way to get the sequins into place is if all that tape's off already. So I've got this sequin mix. It's I've had it in my stash for ages. It's from Little Things by Lucy. Sadly, she doesn't make them anymore, but I'm going to use up my stash. So I'm very carefully placing some sequins into the little windows where there is vellum exposed on the front. So this little corner here that I'm working on, I end up having to take it all out and put it back in, but that's okay. So I know I can be a bit more generous up around the top here because there's more space, so I'm just adding a few more sequins. Remember, I've got all the backing off that tape already. Sorry that my camera is zooming in and out on that, focusing and not focusing so carefully. I didn't realize that I had put my magnets on top of the tape, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So when I removed that magnet, it made the whole page jump. It made everything jump, so I moved some sequins. Make sure this is the right way, and then I can carefully stick that down. I have used what is 1/8 of an inch tape around the outside straight edge of this shaker, but it is a tiny bit too wide. So I figured if I put the tape on so that the extra tape was on the outside, I can go around and just trim it off, which is exactly what I'm doing here. And that is my shaker element all done. I love it so much. It looks so good. It's so pretty. Gwen, I love this cut file. It is stunning, and I'm so glad that you made it to go perfectly with this photo. So I knew that I wanted to tuck my photo in here, and with all the magnets and the pushing down of the sticking, I've restuck all of that back down. So I'm just going to use my little cameo tool to wedge that up so I can get my photo in there. Fits perfectly. And I've got my background back in here. Okay, so I want to include my journaling, but I don't want my journaling to take over the page, so that's on a tag behind my photo. Everything that I'm going to put on now is like I've had a bit of a play off camera, pulled some things out, decided on placement for some things, and working on placement for some other things. So I'm just placing all my elements now. That happy word is actually a die. It's from my in little quotation marks from my card making supplies. They're all paper craft supplies, though, right? Why not use them across different mediums? So that is where the happy has come from. I love these acrylic shapes by Chamel. You can see I'm just making a triangle. I thought I'd use those gold glitter enamel dots, but they're not quite right. So I moved on to something else. I got a little bag for my tag to go into. I just thought that would make it easier to slide in and out of. So now I'm going to start sticking things down. I'm going to start by making sure that my photo is stuck. Then I'm going to stick the glassine bag to the back of the cut file, and then I'm going to stick all my other elements down. Now I take time here to make sure that my photo is straight. Perfect. And then I think I'm sticking that down. Then I can stick all my other bits and pieces. I don't leave all of that process in for you, but I've got these little photo corners. Some things I do need to put a little bit of foam support underneath, just because of the little bit of dimension on the other side with the sequins and things. So yeah, I'm just going to stick all that down. It is really hard to read the title on the screen here, so it does say hello happy. You'll see that in a minute when I place the stickers down. I wanted to incorporate a little bit more black, and so I've stamped the date onto that little sticker, which is from the Classic Heidi collection. The little arrow up the top there is a Charms creation from an Australian scrapbooker, designer, embellishment maker, Charms Creations. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. I really like the different texture that adds to the page. So I've got the date there, I've got my title stuck down, and I've got my acrylic pieces stuck down. So I've got the butterfly to the right of my photo. I've got the little heart on that charms arrow, and then the bigger heart on the left hand side. And I'm just trying to decide which of these definition stickers I want to include. Again, I just wanted to include a bit more of that black because at the moment there's the black in my shirt and the black in the title. There's a tiny bit of black on the left hand side, but I feel like it's not really balanced. So I'm going to add these guys. There's two that I add underneath my title. And I'm going to just curl up the corners on them. Yeah. So this, like I keep talking about this cut file. It's so pretty. What's your favourite way to back a cut file? Or do you like to not back them and just use them as a layering piece in your background, or maybe on, you know, as an embellishment on the top? Leave me a comment below, let me know. Yeah, and Gwen's shop is still open. There's still cut files there that you can go and purchase. This cut file of the month though is such a great deal, and it's an exclusive cut file. I can't speak highly enough of it. I love them. So yeah. One of my final touches is adding in some of these. I think they're Pink Fresh Studio gold glitter gems. They're so pretty, so pretty. And so I'm just adding those around my page. I want to add some cord to my tag. This is actually rose gold, but it works really well with what I've got on the page. I've tied that into a bow, and I've discovered that with this cord I can twist the tails so that they go exactly where I want them to do, which is super fun. That finishes off my layout. Here is my video close-ups. So pretty. I love it so much. I've added my journaling that's on the tag behind. Everything is linked in the description box below. As always, thank you so much for choosing to spend your scrappy time with me. If you have any questions, please make sure you drop them below again, or just say hi. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I will see you in my next process video. Have a fantastic scrappy day, my friends.